The captains for Laverne are not out here yet. Laverne are also the Tigers. Their colors are purple and yellow with white trim. Hollis is in their road white uniforms with red numerals. Captains for Laverne are coming out. We also want to thank Janning Welding and Supply. Welding supplies, iron and metal, welding fabrication, and truck services. Four Seasons Heating and Air. Chad and Wyatt Eaton, your carrier dealer serving all of western Oklahoma and servicing all brands. Farmers Union Co-op Gin, Elk City, your authorized Purina feed dealer, Purina Feed Greatness. As we get ready for the captains to come out on the field, captains for Hollis are number 3, Brody Shelby, number 9, Caden Rollins, number 33, Zach Mefford, and number 22, Braxton Wisnett. The captains for the Laverne team, number 88, Emilio Juarez. Number 13, that's Caden Knight. Number 49, well, I thought it was 49. I can't see his number from here. Number 45, Jonathan Gonzalez. And number 34, that is Robert Hetchen. The captains are meeting at the center of the field. The officials explaining the rules to them for the coin toss. Hollis will get to call the coin toss. Hollis has won the coin toss and elected to receive. Laverne has chosen to defend the goal to the south. Sorry, guys, this is what the AD told me to do. Let's talk some more about some of our sponsors who help us with our broadcast. Jeff Carlisle, Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance. They protect Oklahoma's best. Rother Brothers, Case International Harvester in Clinton, helping farmers and ranchers get the job done. Roger Mills Memorial Hospital in Cheyenne, offering a full range of inpatient and outpatient services. Mountain Man's Axe Throwing in Grubb, 325 South Main Street in Elk City, or online at www.mountainmanselkcity.com. Security State Bank, locations in Cheyenne, Hammond, and Laverne. Here comes the Hollis Tigers through the Spirit line. We have some Cardinal smoke going off as well. Tigers are led out on the field by Braxton Wisnett and Brody Shelby. And the smoke is blowing right in our direction. And the smoke is thick. I hope it clears away before the game starts because you can't see the field through the smoke. And now the Laverne Tigers come out on the field. You know, Rick, I was young once like that. Well, the smoke definitely has thinned a little bit. Dropping deep to receive the kickoff for Hollis is Connor Bennett. Doing the kicking duties for Laverne is number 32. That is Tate Dome. I see an end to the smoke. As Dome gets ready to kick off the ball, waiting for the officials to clear the field to get to the sides. The whistle blows, here comes the kick. And they fake the kickoff, and then they come backwards. Looked like they were trying to see how Hollis would react. Now here comes the kickoff. Big booming kick down to Connor Bennett, back about the 5-yard line, 10, 15, 20, 25. Brought down at about the 26-yard line. Good return by Michael Bennett, a 21-yard return. Connor Bennett. So Hollis gets the ball. See where the officials are going to place it here. They set the ball right at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for Hollis from their own 25. Hollis defending the goal to the north. Laverne protecting the goal to the south. Brody Shelby right up underneath center. Calls the signals, takes a snap, keeps himself, goes up through the A-gap, falls forward, gets across 25 out to about the 27. A 2-yard pickup for Brody Shelby. Brody comes over and talks to Coach Trent Shelby. Takes the play back into the huddle. And so Hollis comes to the line of scrimmage. Brody Shelby right up underneath center. Going in motion, Zach Mefford. Brody keeps the ball himself, turns up the field around the end of the line. Gets about a yard maybe, so that brings up 3rd down and 7 now for the Hollis Tigers. Brody again will come over and get the play from Coach Trent Shelby. As Brody goes back into the huddle. It's 3rd down and 7. Caden Rollins down on the ball for Hollis. Brody Shelby right up underneath center. 2 setbacks. Going in motion, Zach Mefford. Brody drops back looking to pass. Flings the ball down the field. Oh, just over the outstretched arms of Rowdy Randall. I'll tell you what, that one was so very, very close. Rowdy had to adjust his path and did a great job. Almost got that one. Tremendous athleticism. He got so far behind the defenders, even the secondary. If he had caught that ball, nobody was there to stop him. Brody again. Here comes a substitution for Hollis. Number 54, J.T. Salazar, comes off the field as number 34, J.V. Vasquez, comes in. Low snap for the punt. Brody gets it and punts it away. Does a great job. Ball lands at about the 45. Picked up. Ball is in the hands. Number 7. He gets wrapped up, breaks away from defenders, comes back to the 40 inside Hollis territory. That was a huge, huge return by number 7, Carson Lovell, for the Laverne Tigers. Ball rest at the 38 inside Hollis territory here. As we wait for them to break the huddle, Jonathan Gonzalez down on the ball. The quarterback is number 2, Felix Teal. Back behind him is number 10, actually flanking him to this side, Noel Almendarez. Here comes the snap. Quarterback keeps himself, comes up to the A-gap, spins, gets across the 35, from down across the 40, down to the 39-yard line, down inside the 35 to 34-yard line. And so Laverne Tigers all look over to their coaches to get the play. As it gets called in, they have the wristbands for the quarterback. And he shares the play with the team as they break the huddle. Gonzalez down on the ball. Quarterback right up underneath center. Single receiver out to this side. Single setback behind the quarterback. They hand it off into the hands of number 9 as he goes around the far end. Gets hit by the Hollis Tigers. Gets out almost to the 30-yard line. I think he's got enough there for the first down. Has Marcos De La Torre on the carry that time. It's third and about 3 now. They've got to get down to the 27 or 28 to pick up the first down.
Wide out to the top. Wide out to both sides. On the ball on top. Tight ends eligible.
Twins to the left. Nobody out wide to the right. Quarterback in shotgun formation. Calling the signals. Gets the snap. Teal drops back. Goes to make a pass. Ball got tipped. Hollis almost intercepted the tip ball. Great job defensively. Brody Shelby got into the backfield and put some pressure on the quarterback, and he may have been the one to also tip the ball. I'm not sure. So that brings up fourth down and a long 3 for the Tigers of Laverne. Quarterback calling the play inside the huddle. Felix Teal. They break the huddle. Single receiver wide left, single receiver wide right, single setback flanking the quarterback. Quarterback in shotgun formation, calling the signals, gets the snap, drops back looking for somebody at least to pass, starts running up toward the field. Now he gets past the defenders, and the quarterback picks up enough for the first down as he's down at the 20-yard line. Picked up about 13 yards that time on that carry. Tell you what, Hollis got some good pressure on him. They just didn't get to the point where they could wrap him up and tackle the quarterback, Felix Teal. Again, Laverne breaks the huddle. Single setback with the quarterback is Wyatt Tilley. Wide receiver out to the left, one out here to the right, too. They hand it up the middle into the hands of Tilley. He drives up the field and breaks past all the defenders, takes it in for a touchdown. That makes the score 6-0. As number 1 takes it 20 yards for the touchdown. That's Wyatt Tilley. Now they're going to go for the 2-point conversion, I believe. So with 8:07 to go here in the first quarter, the Tigers of Laverne take the first lead. This time, they send twins out to the left, nobody out to the right. Quarterback in shotgun formation, flanked by Wyatt Tilley. Teal gets the snap, keeps it himself, dives toward the end zone, and falls in for the 2-point conversion. And so that makes the score 8-0. We'll step away. You stay tuned. You're with the Hollis Tigers on Hollis TV, a Paragon TV network.
For that touchdown. But yeah, straight, basically a dive or power.
Again, Connor Bennett in the drop back deep to receive the kickoff. Doing the kicking duties is number 32, Tate Dome for Laverne. He gets the ball from the tee, or from the ref. Puts it on the tee at the 40 inside Laverne territory. They did that little fake thing again and then come back and spread out. It's almost like they're faking an onside kick every time they go to kick off, just in case something looks favorable. High kick taken at the 30 by number 25 for Hollis, and they had called for a fair catch. I didn't see any flags.
There you go. Hey, we're all good. Not a flag. Yeah, hey, Jeremy, but they didn't run it in GT, just that guard full.
So now Hollis will have the ball at their own 30 to start the second possession. Brody Shelby gets the play from Coach Trent Shelby, takes it into the huddle. Caden Rollins down on the ball in the backfield. You have Braxton Wisnet. Off the hip of the tight end on this side is Zach Mefford. Zach goes in motion. This time they give it into the hands of Braxton Wisnet. He drives up, gets across the 30, out about to the 33-yard line, I guess. That's a 3-yard pickup, brings up 2nd and 7 for the Hollis Tigers. Brody again comes over to get the play from the official. I'll tell you what, folks, this is the start of district play. And in our district, 5 of the top 10 teams in Class B are in our district right now. And Laverne is ranked just a little above Hollis in the standings. Brody up underneath center, calling the signals. Going in motion, Zach Mefford. Brody keeps the ball himself, tries to turn up the field, gets up to about almost 34, maybe the 35. We'll see where they're going to place it. Just short of the 35. That will bring up 3rd down and 6 now for the Hollis Tigers. As we were talking about the teams within our conference right now, Balco Forgan has a record of 4-1. Beaver is 0-5. Hollis is 4-0. Laverne is 4-1. Shattuck is 4-0, and Tip Turpin is 5-0. Brody Shelby up underneath center, calling the signals, takes a snap, drops back, looking to pass, flings it out towards Zach Mefford, and he just bounces off his fingertips. So that'll bring up 4th down and 6. So now, 4th down. JT Salazar comes out for the next place. Brody is in the punt formation, dropping back to receive the anticipated punt is Teal. Bad snap. Brody chases it down, gets a low trajectory, but the ball takes a big bounce in Hollis's favor. Gets down inside the 35 in the Laverne end of the stadium. They place the ball about the 33. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 33 for Laverne. They do set the ball right at the 33, waiting for the chain gang to get down there. Laverne very quickly breaks the huddle. Gonzalez down on the ball, quarterback in shotgun formation. He has a single setback with him. They hand it off into the hands of number 10, Noel Almendarez. He picks up about 5 yards that time. That'll bring up 2nd and 5 now for Laverne. As Laverne drops back and looks at the coach on the far side. Quarterback calling the play inside the huddle. As they break the huddle, single receiver going out wide. That's Marcos De La Torre. He goes out wide to the left, nobody wide right. Single setback in the backfield with the quarterback. Teal calls signals, flag comes flying in. See what the officials call. Dead ball, encroachment is the call against Hollis. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. That looks like it should be very, very close to a 1st down, but just about a yard shy, actually. Brings up 2nd and 1 now for Laverne. De La Torre goes out wide to the left. Again, nobody comes out wide right. Quarterback in shotgun formation. Back there with him is Wyatt Tilley. Here comes the snap. Tilley goes in motion. They pitch the ball out to him. He gets up to the 40 and is brought down. Great job there by Caden Rollins. You got Braxton Wisnet also there at the same time. And so a great job by Hollis. That brings up third down and about 3 after that loss of yardage on that play. Good job of Hollis maintaining their lines of containment. Again, they break the huddle, do the Laverne Tigers. De La Torre again out wide left, nobody out wide right. Same setup as the last time. Quarterback in shotgun formation, keeps the ball himself, tries to dive forward, but gets smothered. In on the tackle that time for Hollis. Zach Mefford was right there, as was number 22, Braxton Wisnet. So that brings up 4th down and 2 after a very short gain for Felix Teal of Laverne. They may see this as being 4-down territory, waiting for the call from the coach as to what to do here. It would be a little bit risky, but they've done well defensively against Hollis so far this evening. Single receiver wide to the right, single receiver wide left. Player comes in motion, flag comes. False start's going to be called against the Tigers of Laverne. That'll back them up 5 more yards. So instead of 4th and 2, it'll be 4th and 7 after that false start or illegal motion. So the Laverne lines up in punt formation now. Back to do the punting duties is Tate Dome. Back deep to receive the anticipated punt is Connor Bennett. High arching ball lands at the 35 and goes out of bounds at about the 31-yard line, it looks like from my vantage point. The officials actually seem to be indicating that it's going to go at about the 34-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Hollis from their own 34. Again, Brody Shelby visits with Coach Trent Shelby, takes the play into the huddle. Caden Rollins down on the ball. Brody Shelby right up underneath center. Single setback, Braxton Wisnet. Brody takes the snap, drops back, looking to pass. Being pursued, flings the ball down the field. It's knocked out of the hands of Zach Mefford over at the sideline, far side of the field. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 now for the Hollis Tigers from the 34-yard line, almost the 35 in their own end of the field. Again, Brody goes to take the play to the huddle. As they come up the line of scrimmage, tight formation like Hollis has been running. Brody Shelby right up underneath center. Single setback is Braxton Wisnet. Zach Mefford comes in motion. Brody keeps the ball himself, tries to get across, and he's brought down after he crosses the 35-yard line. Gets about a 2-yard pickup that time. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 8 now for the Hollis Tigers. Brody goes and takes the play back into the huddle. So they break the huddle. Twins out wide to the left, nobody out wide right. Brody Shelby in the shotgun formation back there with Braxton Wisnet. 2 seconds on the play clock. Here comes the high snap taken by Brody. Drops back looking to pass, being pursued. Flings the ball over this way, and it comes out of bounds. He was facing heavy pressure. Trying to see if there was a flag on the play because there's nobody over here that looked like a receiver. There is no flag. But I'll tell you what, I don't think the ball got past the line of scrimmage that time. So as Hollis lines up in punt formation, Brody Shelby back in punt formation. Dropping back to receive the anticipated punt is Teal. Ball lands at the 40, takes a Hollis bounce, and stops at about the 31-yard line for Laverne. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Laverne. Let's see where they're going to actually place the ball. They're actually going to place the ball at about the 32-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 for Laverne from their own 32. As Laverne breaks the huddle. They've had a good year so far. They beat Waurika at Waurika 38-30 earlier in the season, their very first game. Here comes motion. Quarterback drops back, looks to pass. Got it straight in the hands of number 1 for Laverne. He gets behind the defenders, and he is off to the races. He takes it all the way in for the touchdown. Wyatt Tilley. A big 68-yard run, or pass play, excuse me. So now they will go for a 2-point conversion again. Back in the earlier part of this quarter, there was a run play to Tilley that he took it 20 yards for the touchdown. This time, like I said, 68 yards on the return as they line up to do the 2-point conversion. Quarterback keeps it himself, comes around this end, takes it in for the 2-point conversion, makes the score 16-0. We'll step away. You stay tuned. You're with the Hard-Hitting Tigers on Hollis TV, a Paragon TV network. Again, we want to recognize some of the sponsors for Paragon TV. Our presenting sponsor is the Bank of Western Oklahoma since 1908, where people come first with 6 locations to serve you: Elk City, Weatherford, Cordell, and Gary, as well as Vici and Woodward. The Ace Scoreboard sponsor is Ace Home Center. Visit the locally owned Ace Home Center nearest you or shop online at elkcitysupply.com. Ace, the helpful place. Pioneer Cellular is the timeout sponsor. You're covered, and that's the truth. The area's best coverage. Visit gopioneer.com. Also, Sonic Drive-In starting lineup sponsor. Sonic, this is how you Sonic. So now we're getting ready to have the kickoff. Doing the kicking duties again is number 32, Tate Dome. Dome gets the ball on the tee, waiting for the officials to get off to the sides of the field. Your line judge and side judge. Here comes the kick. Again, goes past Connor Bennett this time and rolls all the way into the end zone. So that'll be a touchback. Hollis will get the ball at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Hollis Tigers. And they do set the ball right on the 20. Nose of the ball right up at the 20. Hollis breaks the huddle. Caden Rollins down on the ball. Brody Shelby up underneath center. Nobody out wide. Single setback is Braxton Wisnett. Coming in motion, Zach Mefford. Brody keeps the ball himself. Gets across the 20 out to about the 22-yard line. Gets wrapped up and brought down by number 1. That is Wyatt Tilley. That's a name you're likely to hear a lot tonight. That young man is a tremendous athlete. He's got amazing speed, good view of the field, or field vision, I guess you could call it. And he's very physical. This time, Connor Bennett goes out wide to the right. In the slot, you have Rowdy Randall. Brody Shelby calling signals. He's right up underneath center. Braxton Wisnett, the sole setback. This time dropping back, looking to pass. They fling it down the field. Pass is intercepted at the 42 as number 2, the young man who plays quarterback for the Tigers of Laverne. That's Felix Teal. He went sky and came down flat on his back, but there is a flag on the field. Personal foul, roughing the passer. So Hollis keeps the ball. That'll be a 15-yard penalty, so Hollis will get it at their own 35-yard line. That will move the change, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the Hollis 35. Brody again visits with Coach Trent Shelby, takes the play into the huddle. Caden Rollins down on the ball, tight formation. Brody right up underneath center. Single setback is Braxton Wisnet. Here comes the snap. They hand it off to Braxton. He goes up through the A-grab, dragging players with him. Gets out to the 35, a good 5-yard pickup that time. Braxton, from the time he hit the hole, had defenders trying to bring him down, but he just powers his way to the 35. That'll bring up 2nd and 5 now for the Hollis Tigers. 1 minute, 16 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Hollis trailing 16-0. As they break the huddle, Caden Rollins will be down on the ball. Again, the tight formation here. Same as we've seen. Connor Bennett at the end of the line is a tight end at the far end. This near side, you have Rowdy Randall. This time they give the ball off again to Braxton. Again, he hits the hole. Only picks up a couple yards this time. Gets out to about the 37, I think. So that will bring up 3rd and 3 now. Almost 3rd and 4. They actually place it right between the 36 and 37-yard line. Got to get to the 40 to pick up the first down. Or excuse me, got to get to the 45 to pick up the first down. Again, Brody gets the play from the coach, takes it in the huddle. 3rd down and 4 for the Hollis Tigers. Brody up underneath center, calling signals. This time, pitches out to Zach Mefford. He gets across 45-50. Ball is on the ground. He got the ball stripped, and the Tigers of Laverne recover the ball. Getting on the ball very quickly that time for Laverne is number 13. That's Caden Knight. And so the Tigers of Laverne will get the ball right at the 50, nose of the ball on their side of the 50. So 1st and 10 for Laverne. This time, see, you got single receiver out to the left, single to the right, single setback flanking the quarterback is number 1, Tilly. Quarterback drops back, looking to pass, flings the ball down the field. Hollis had a lot of hands up, and the ball goes past them, but the pass was incomplete. That brings up 2nd and 10 now from the 50 for Laverne. Laverne breaks the huddle. Down on the ball, Jonathan Gonzalez. Quarterback in shotgun formation. Twins to the left, nobody out wide to the right. Quarterback calling signals, gets the snap, drops it off into the hands of number 1, and a flag comes in. Wyatt Tilley was carrying the ball that time. He gets up to the 46-yard line, so a 4-yard pickup. So they're going to call the penalty against Laverne. So that progress will be eradicated by the penalty. It is a 10-yard penalty. I believe the penalty was for holding. That ends the first quarter. Hollis trails 16-0. We'll step away. You stay tuned. You with the hard-hitting Tigers on Hollis TV, a Paragon TV network. Want to thank some sponsors again as we have the opportunity to do so here between the quarters. We want to thank Jennings Welding and Supply, welding supplies, iron and metal, welding fabrication, and trucking services. Also, Four Seasons Heating and Air, your carrier dealer serving all of Western Oklahoma and servicing all brands. Farmers Union Co-op Gin in Elk City, your authorized Purina Feed dealer. Purina Feed greatness. Jeff Carlisle, Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance, they protect Oklahoma's best. Rother Brothers Case IH in Clinton, helping farmers and ranchers get the job done. Roger Mills Memorial Hospital in Cheyenne, offering a full range of inpatient and outpatient services. We also want to thank Mountain Man's Axe Throwing and Grub, 325 South Main Street in Elk City, or online at www.mountainmanselkcity.com. Finally, Security State Bank, locations in Cheyenne, Hammond, and Laverne. Thank you all for your support of Paragon TV and Hollis Tiger TV. As we switch at the quarters, we switch ends of the field. So now Laverne is guarding the north end of the field to the right. Hollis guarding or defending the south end of the field to the left. Twin receivers out here wide left. Quarterback right up underneath center. Single setback behind him. They take the snap. Quarterback keeps the ball himself. Breaks up through the A-gap. Gets up to the 45-yard line. So that's a decent pickup, but they still have 15 yards to go with third down here. They've got to get to the Hollis 40 to pick up a first down. As Laverne breaks the huddle, Jonathan Gonzalez will be down on the ball. Twin receivers out here to the right. You've got Marcos De La Torre out wide. And then in the slot, you have number 1, Wyatt Tilley, I believe.
Screen.
Here comes the pass down the field. Tilley gets the ball at the 35, 30, 20, 15, 10. Brought down inside the 10 by Braxton Wisnet. See where they're going to place the ball here. Probably about the 6-yard line, it looks like. It'll be first and goal from the 6 for the Tigers of Laverne. As the ball is sitting just outside the 5-yard line, it looks like. This time, got Twins to the left, nobody out wide to the right. Quarterback up underneath center. Sends a player in motion. Ball's on the ground, and there's a flag comes in as well. So let's see what the officials are going to call and do with this one. I don't know. There's not been an indication as to who has the ball yet. They picked up the flag apparently. Okay. It was not a flag, it was the bag marking where the fumble was. So that brings up 2nd and 6 now for the Tigers of Laverne. Quarterback right up underneath center. Twins to the right, Twins left, nobody out to the right. Quarterback drops back, has the ball himself, tries to go around the far end and takes it in on a 6-yard run for a touchdown for Laverne. They will go for the 2-point conversion here, I believe. So here in the second quarter, Hollis right now trails 22-0. As Laverne breaks the huddle, this time single receiver wide to the right, single receiver wide to left, nobody in the backfield with the quarterback. Teal takes the snap, drops back, looks to pass up over the middle, and it is in on a pass for 2 points. makes the score 24-0, Hollis trailing. We'll step away. You stay tuned. You're with the Hollis Tigers on Hollis TV, a Paragon TV network. Laverne is ranked number 5 in the state for Class B football. Hollis is ranked number 8 coming into this game, and you can definitely see that Laverne deserves the ranking they've been given. 3 times here in the first half, they have taken the ball down the field for a score. And so now with 10-12 to go here in the first half, Hollis trails 24-0. Again, Dome tees up the ball for the kickoff on behalf of Laverne. Connor Bennett back deep to receive. Big booming kick over Connor's head, takes a big bounce into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. Hollis will get the ball right at their own 20 to start this possession. Thus far this year, Laverne has only lost 1 game, and that was against Sealing, and they only lost by 2 points in that game. First and 10 for Hollis from their own 20. Connor Bennett lined up as a slot receiver over here. They pitch the ball out into the hands of number 22, Braxton Wisnett. He comes around the end of the line. See where he got to here. Ball gets placed at the 22, so a 2-yard pickup. That brings up 2nd and 8. 9:49 to go here in the first half. Brody Shelby takes the play into the huddle after visiting with Coach Trent Shelby. Again, Connor Bennett and Rowdy Randall lined up as tight ends. Caden Rollins down on the ball. Brody Shelby right up underneath center. Single setback is Caden Rollins. Zach Mefford comes in motion. Brody keeps the ball here. Turns up the field. Picks up about a yard, maybe 2 there. Did pick up 1 yard. That brings up 3rd down and a long 6 for the Hollis Tigers. Almost 7. Ball is sitting just between the 34 and 35-yard line. Or 24 and 25-yard line, excuse me. Again, the tight formation that Hollis has been using all year. Brody Shelby up underneath center, takes the snap, drops back, looking to pass, flings it up to Zach Mefford, who's at the 30-yard line. They'll place the ball down at the 29. So that brings up 4th down and a long 1 from where the ball sits. Brody takes the play into the huddle. 8:16 to go here in the first half. Hollis trailing 24-0. Brody Shelby up underneath center. Nobody out wide. Single set back is Braxton Wisnett. Brody takes the snap, gives it off to Braxton. Braxton drives and drives. I think he picked up the 1st down. They say move the chains. Indeed he did. So a good play. He just got what he needed plus about a foot, it looks like, from where they're going to place the ball. So great job that time by Braxton. They're going to change things up a bit here. Caden Rollins, I believe, is going to be in the backfield as Braxton came off. Brody Shelby up underneath center, calling the signals, takes the snap, Comes back this way, tries to get past defenders, gets out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and 9 now for the Hollis Tigers. 7:24 to go here in the first half. Brody comes over to talk to Coach Trent Shelby. Hollis has had a really, their line has done quite well this year. Usually it's Caden Rollins there at the center, and he's flanked by the left guard and right guard, JT Salazar and Xavier Cervantes. And then you've got your 2 tight ends, Rowdy Randall and Connor Bennett. Then Zach Mefford lines up on the hip of either Rowdy or Connor, and a lot of times comes in motion. And so timeout's going to be taken by Hollis. We'll take a timeout too. You stay tuned. You're with Hollis Tiger TV, a Paragon TV network. Again, we want to thank Pioneer Cellular. Pioneer Cellular is the timeout sponsor. You're covered, and that's the truth. The area's best coverage. Visit gopioneer.com. We also want to thank the Bank of Western Oklahoma. Since 1908, where people come first, with 6 locations to serve you: Elk City, Weatherford, Cordell, Gary, Visay, and Woodward. As Hollis comes back out on the field, they go into a huddle briefly before they'll break the huddle. Ball is sitting right at the 31-yard line. Switch at quarterback. Connor Bennett now lining up underneath center. He gets the ball, keeps it himself, runs around the far end, gets a good block in front of him, gets across the 50, 45, 40, 35, and gets pushed out of bounds. See where they're going to say he stepped out. I think it looks like he stepped out right about the 40. So that was a good run by Connor Bennett. Gets the ball all the way to the 40 inside Laverne territory. 6 minutes, 42 seconds to go here in the first half. Hollis trailing 24-0. Connor Bennett up underneath center. Single setback is Braxton Wisnet. Connor calling signals, takes snap, have a flag. See what they're going to determine here. Dead ball, illegal procedure, or false start against the Hollis Tigers. That'll back them up 5 yards. So instead of being 1st and 10, it is now 1st and 15. Ball sits at the 45 inside Laverne territory. Connor Bennett comes over, gets the play from the coach, takes it into the huddle. Again, tight formation. Got Braxton Wisnet in the backfield. This time Connor keeps the ball himself. Follows Braxton through the B gap. Gets up across the 40, inside the 40, to about the 38-yard line, I believe. Nice little 8-yard pickup for the Hollis Tigers. That brings up 2nd and 7 now for Hollis. They've got to get to the 30-yard line to pick up the first down. Ball is sitting at the 38, so it's actually 2nd and 8 now for Hollis. Again, Connor up underneath center, calling the signals. Pitches the ball out. Braxton Wisnet catches the ball on his hip and just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, if that. That'll bring up 3rd and 8 now for the Tigers. Braxton was doing everything he could to maintain possession of that ball because it hit him on his hip, and that's where he took possession of it and just held it tightly against his hip as he ran there. It's one of those situations that there's danger if you go to try to move it. There's danger if you don't move it. But if you try to move it while you're moving, chances are better that you may fumble it. And so Braxton did what he could there. Again, Connor Bennett up underneath center. Timeout's going to be called by Hollis. We'll take a timeout too. You stay tuned. You're with Hollis with Hollis TV, a Paragon TV network. Again, we want to thank some of our sponsors who make our broadcast possible. Our thanks goes to Sonic Drive-In. This is how you Sonic. Pedro's Mexican Grill. Pedro's, the official watch spot for Big Elk TV and Paragon TV this sports season. They're located at 902 South Main Street in Elk City. Janning Welding Supply, the entire Janning family. Welding supplies, iron and metal, welding fabrication, and trucking services. Also, Farmers Union Co-op Gin in Elk City, managed by Quentin Elliott, your authorized Purina Feed dealer. Purina Feed greatness. Jeff Carlisle, Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance. They protect Oklahoma's best. Hollis is about to break the huddle here. It'll be 3rd down and 8 now for Hollis as they come up to the line of scrimmage. JT Salazar down on the ball. Connor Bennett up underneath center. Here comes Zach Mefford in motion. They do a reverse into the hands of Caden Rollins. Goes around the far end. Picks up a big chunk of yards. Way more than enough for the first down, I believe. As they get down inside the 25, I believe. They placed the ball right at the 24, so that was a good run that time. And Hollis, there's a little bit of misdirection that time, and it was very hard for a team, even Laverne, to defend against. It worked to a T. Again, Connor Bennett right up underneath center. Hands the ball off into the hands of Braxton Wisnet. He takes the ball. Let's see what they're going to say here. Picked up about a yard that time. That'll bring up 2nd and 9 now for the Hollis Tigers. JT Salazar down on the ball. Caden Rollins is off to the right end of the line at tight end. This time, Connor keeps the ball himself, gets down to the 20-yard line. Lots of insects flying in my face here. Connor comes over to talk to Coach Trent Shelby to get the play. We've got 4 minutes, 11 seconds to go here in the first half. Hollis is trailing 24-0. As they break the huddle, this time Caden Rollins lines up at the tight end position at the far end of the line, and Rowdy Randall this end. Single setback is Braxton. Connor keeps the ball himself, drives around the end, turns up the field, gets away from defenders, and gets brought down inside the 5 at about the 2. So a great run that time by Connor Bennett. Hollis moving the ball well here. Connor Bennett brings the play to the huddle. They break the huddle. JT Salazar down on the ball. Tight formation here. Connor right up underneath center. Takes the snap. Hands it off into the hands of Braxton Wisnet. He takes it in. 2 yards for the touchdown. So Braxton takes the ball in. .319 to go here in the second quarter. Hollis on the scoreboard now. They will go for two here. They trail right now 24-6. As Hollis breaks the huddle, number 41 for Hollis is down on the ball. Connor Bennett right up underneath center. Calls the signals, tries to pull the other team off sides. There is a flag. Probably be delay of game I'm expecting here. Will be a 5-yard penalty against Hollis. So instead of trying to punch it in from the 2, they now have to try to punch it in from about the 7.5-yard line. Again, Connor Bennett comes over and talks to Coach Trent Shelby. JT Salazar down on the ball, quarterback right up underneath center. Here comes the snap. The dropping back looking to pass. They give it off to Zach Mefford over on this side. He takes it and gets in on the pass play. Number 22, Zach Mefford, makes the score 24-8. Hollis trailing by 16. 3:19 to go. We'll step away. You stay tuned. You're with Hollis TV on Paragon TV Network. Do you guys need this light on?
Sally, mess you up if we do that? Oh, it actually looks better. Yeah, it's more color.
I can live with that, I think. We've turned off the lights here in the visitor side press box because the lights were attracting flies and bugs that were huge and annoying, as young Mr. Salazar puts it. He operates the filming for the team. 3:19 to go here in the first half. Hollis trails by 16, 24-8. As we tee up the ball, getting ready for a kickoff. You've got Wyatt Tilley and Felix Teal back deep to receive the kickoff for the Tigers of Laverne. This is the first time. Little onside kick action here, and the ball's on the ground, and I think Hollis got it. There's some discussion there. The defense, or the receiving team, I believe, touched the ball first, and that's why it didn't have to go 10 yards before we dove on it. But officials are having a discussion about this. It's a rather lengthy discussion, so they must have differing views or something.
I know Zach's not stupid enough to touch it towards the end. He waited.
And they indicate it is Laverne's ball. Hollis fans not happy about that. Tell you what, Hollis has a really good turnout here tonight. Folks who've made the trip up, it's about a 3-hour drive roughly. And so now, not only that, but it's the march off. 5 more yards is a penalty for touching the ball early. And they set the ball inside Hollis territory, nose the ball almost to the 44-yard line. Coach Trent Shelby not happy with that call at all. So the Tigers of Laverne with the ball, quarterback shotgun formation. Teal calling the signals, gets the snap, tries to run around the far side, gets wrapped up but thrown down forward. picks up a good chunk of yardage that time. Does the young quarterback. He gets inside the 40, down to the 36-yard line. So about a 7-yard run. That brings up 2nd and 3, short 3, long 2. And so now, Twins to the left, nobody out wide to the right. Quarterback in shotgun formation. Teal over this side of him. Quarterback keeps the ball himself, comes around this end. Hollis trying to stretch the play out, and they do. He doesn't pick up much, but he may have gotten enough for the first down. I'm not sure. Depends on the placement of the ball. And so they indicate first down. So that'll move the chains. 1st and 10. The ball sitting at the 34-yard line. Actually, close to the 33 is where they put the nose of the ball. 1st and 10. So now, quarterback in shotgun formation. This time hands it off into the hands of Tilly. In the backfield, gets wrapped up and brought down. Great job there defensively by number 44 for Hollis. .44, that is Josh Thiedman in on the tackle. Haven't called Josh's name a whole lot this year so far, but boy, that was a good tackle that he put on the quarterback. So now, quarterback in shotgun formation. Back with him is number 7. That's Carson Lovell. Quarterback keeps the ball himself, now turns back away from us, goes around the end, turns up the field, running very fast, and gets brought down, tripped up, after he picks up a whole ton of yardage. Let's see. Can't see which player it was that tackled him. It's Connor Bennett, I believe, number 1. Ball is set just inside the 10-yard line, about the 9. Be 1st and goal from the 9 for Laverne. As Laverne breaks the huddle. Jonathan Gonzalez down on the ball. Quarterback right up underneath center. Single setback is Tilly. Teal keeps the ball himself, follows through the A-gap, gets wrapped up and driven down. Original contact for Hollis. Number 44, Josh Thiedman, in on that tackle. Had assistance from some others. Timeout called by Laverne. We'll take a timeout too. You stay tuned. You're with Hollis Tiger Football on Hollis TV, a Paragon TV network. One minute, 8 seconds to go here in the first half. Hollis trailing 24-8. The Laverne Tigers have the ball at the 6-yard line inside Hollis territory. It is 2nd and goal from the 6th. Quarterback in shotgun formation. Nobody back there with him. He gets the snap, runs around towards the far end, turns up the field, and takes it in 6 yards for the touchdown. Makes the score 30-8 now, with 1:05 to go here in the second quarter. They will go for the 2-point conversion here. So far tonight, they've been perfect from the 2-point conversion, And I believe all 3 times the quarterback has kept the ball himself. He is right up underneath center here. Motions for the player to go in motion. This time they pitch the ball to number 7. He fumbles it. They do not convert. So the score now, 30-8. We'll step away. You stay tuned. You are the hard-hitting Hollis Tigers on Hollis TV, a Paragon TV network. With 1 minute and 8 seconds to go, actually 1:05 to go here in the first half, Hollis will receive the kickoff. Dome will be doing the kicking duties for Laverne. Bennett dropping back just inside the 20 to receive the kickoff here. Actually drops back to about the 14 now and just keeps backing up just a little bit. Steps up to the 15. This time, they kick it right away. Ball comes out of bounds at the 25. Flag comes in, illegal procedure. Hollis will get the ball, I believe, at the 35-yard line as a result of the penalty for kicking out of bounds. So Hollis will get the ball there. It does set right at the 35. Illegal procedure is the call against Laverne. First and 10 for Hollis. Ball sitting at the 35. Got to get to the 45 to pick up the first down. 1 minute, 5 seconds to go. And that's probably the good thing about that kickoff is, yes, it gives you good field starting position, but also no time off the clock. Brody Shelby back in, looking to pass, flings the ball down the field, intended for Zach Mefford. He's being guarded closely by number 2, and a flag comes in at the 35. I think they're going to call it on number 2 as he was holding all the way down the field. So we'll see what they're going to call it. Officials are discussing it at the 45. Pass interference is the call. That'll be a big march off as the ball comes out 15 yards all the way to the 50. So, and as just was said here in the box, that only took 5 seconds. So Hollis has the ball in 1 minute to go here in the first half. Have the ball right at the 50-yard line. Brody back in shotgun formation. Here comes pressure. And flings the ball out of bounds. Had 2 of the defenders for the Tigers of Laverne. Number 1, Tilly, was there, big time. And one of the other players we mentioned back earlier in the game, number 88, that is Emilio Juarez, who is putting pressure on Brody in the backfield. Hollis comes up to the line of scrimmage. Brody right up underneath center calling the signals. Going to have a flag come in there. I think it's going to be false start or illegal procedure. Let's see. Dead ball, illegal procedure is the call against Hollis. That'll march him back 5 to the 45. It burns 6 seconds off the clock that time. Brings up 2nd and 15 now for the Hollis Tigers. 32-8 is the score. 30 for the Tigers of Laverne, 8 for Hollis. If you say 38, it sounds like a single number, 38. If you say 32-8, that sounds like the Tigers of Laverne have 2 more points, but they do lead. Hollis with the ball. Brody drops back, flings it over this way into the hands of Rowdy Randall. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, if that. Gets brought down. In on the tackle that time for Laverne is number 7. That is Carson Lovell. So now Hollis breaks the huddle. JT Salazar down on the ball. Brody Shelby in shotgun formation. Twins to the right, single receiver to the left. Brody drops back, looking to pass, gets hit by a defender, breaks away, then gets great defense by JT Salazar. Fling the ball down the field. There should be a flag there. But there is no flag comes in, I don't think. I don't know how they didn't. Zach Mefford was in the air when he was hit before the ball got to him. But they bring the ball back, sitting at the 45-yard line inside Hollis territory. 14 seconds now here in the first half. Hollis trailing 30-8. Titus Billy comes off the field. He had been out there for that play. JT Salazar down on the ball. With 4th down, Hollis is setting up to punt the ball away. Brody Shelby gets a nice punt. Hits at the 30, takes a good Hollis bounce, taken by Teal. There's a flag for a hit in the back. Block in the back. There's 2 flags come in. Teal's running up and using up a lot of clock, so that'll end the first half. Even though there was a hit in the back, there is no untimed down because it was the offense, the receiving team, who made that hit. They could ask Hollis if you want to kick it again. There's no reason to do that. And so that ends the first half. Hollis trailing 30-8, a 22-point lead for Laverne. We'll step away. You stay tuned. You're with Hollis Tiger Football on Hollis TV, a Paragon TV network. pinch your fingers in it. Welcome back, Hollis Tiger Football. Chip Moore here in Laverne, Oklahoma, where the Hollis Tigers at the half trail Laverne Tigers 30-8. Joined by Rick Scorpy running the computer and so forth, our Hollis' athletic director. And then we got Max, who's running the cameras out there. I'll tell you what, Max is a good guy to hang around with. He's just a joy to be around. Nice young man. So as we get ready to return to action here, 32 seconds left on the clock for halftime. Laverne's record, like I mentioned, was 4-1 so far this year. It's going to be nice from this point forward. Once we head back home tonight, we only have one more road trip during the regular season. Still have some tough teams to face, though, because 5 out of the top 10 teams in Class B are in our district. Hollis is ranked number 8 within our district coming into tonight. Hollis will get ready to do the kickoff here. Dropping back to receive the kickoff, number 1 and number 2. So that is Felix Teal, number 2, and Wyatt Tilley, number 1. Both lined up somewhere between the 20 and 25-yard line. Here comes an onside kick again. Good attempt. And taken by number 7 for the Tigers of Laverne. Carson Lovell takes the ball and he gets it out across the 50 to the 49-yard line inside Hollis territory. So that ball took a good bounce. And I mean, the ball moved the way you want it to when you do an onside kick. It's just that Lovell has really good hands. So ball sitting just inside the 50, inside Hollis territory. Hollis defending the goal to the north, Laverne defending the goal to the south. Jonathan Gonzalez down on the ball. Quarterback coming right up. Here we've got twins to the left, or to the right. Nobody out to the right, or to the left, rather. Give the ball off into the hands of Tilley. He breaks away from a would-be tackler and finally gets brought down. Brody Shelby brings him down at the 25-yard line. But that's after the young man broke away from about 2 or 3 other tacklers. He just runs with speed and power. During the halftime break, I was talking to one of the Hollis fans, and they were mentioning the fact that 2 guys on this Laverne team, number 1, that's Wyatt Tilley, and the quarterback, number 2, Felix Teal, both are tremendous athletes. And when they've got the ball in their hand, you've got to have somebody ready to get them. Quarterback gets a smack, step, goes around the far end, turns up the field, gets pushed out of bounds. Let's see who that. I believe that was Rowdy Randall in on the tackle that time for Hollis. Does get the ball up inside the 20-yard line, down to about the 19, maybe the 18. Second down and about 4 here. This time they send twins to the left, nobody out wide to the right. Quarterback in shotgun formation, flanked by number 1, Wyatt Tilley. Calling the signals. Can I have a flag come in? Number 1, Wyatt Tilley, moved before the snap, so it's a false start. That'll back him up 5. So instead of 2nd and 4, it will now be 2nd and 9 as they move the ball back 5 yards. They break the huddle once again. Jonathan Gonzalez will be down on the ball. Quarterback will be in shotgun formation. Again, he is flanked by number 1, Wyatt Tilley. Twins to the left. They give it off to Tilley, goes up the middle, and just keeps taking players with him, gets almost down to the 15. So picked up a good chunk of yardage there. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 1 now for the Tigers of Laverne. Another thing we mentioned when we were talking at halftime, Wyatt Tilley can line up in a whole bunch of positions, and no matter where he is, whether it be as a receiver or a running back or a blocker, he is a great athlete. Quarterback has the ball, gets back, picks up just a little bit on the carry that time. See, it'll be 3rd down and about, they're saying it's 1st down, move the chains. Wow. I thought he was short, but the placement on the ball, they actually set the ball about the 14. So I thought he was stopped at the 15. 10:30 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Hollis trailing 30-8. Quarterback Felix Teal goes over to talk to their coach. Brings the play into the huddle. They break the huddle fairly quickly. Everybody's packed real tight. Quarterback in the shotgun, right up underneath center, has 2 tailbacks. Give it off into the hands. Caden Rollins just wraps up and flings down number 7, Carson Lovell. Great job by Caden Rollins defensively that time for the Hollis Tigers. Well, they say the running back number 7, Lovell, picks up a yard. That brings up 2nd and 9 now for Laverne. So they come up to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback up underneath center, single setback, have a single receiver coming in motion. Quarterback keeps the ball himself, tries to turn up the field at the far end. Great job of containment by the Hollis Tigers. Don't allow him to get much. Caden Rollins was the first one to get a hand on him, but then there was a host of Tigers who came to finish him off. So great job defensively that time by the Hollis Tigers. 9:07 to go here in the 3rd quarter. It is 3rd down and 6 for Laverne. As they break the huddle this time, Lovell comes over to this end, almost lined up as a slot receiver here. Quarterback right up underneath center, tight formation. Lovell goes in motion. Quarterback keeps the ball himself, looking to pass. Ball gets tipped and knocked down. Great job defensively. I think it was Braxton Wisnett, jumped up and knocked the ball, or tipped the ball. And then there was a whole host of Tigers around the player who's the closest to being a receiver in that situation. That'll bring up 4th down and 6 for Laverne. So now, twins to the left. Then you send out a running back from the backfield. Now they're looking. A lot of timing here. Quarterback's holding the ball. He has forever here. Finally, a flag comes in. Let's see what they're going to call. It should be should be a holding call. Illegal shift. I couldn't tell for sure what that motion was. But whatever it is, it's against Laverne, so that will back them up. And that will bring the ball all the way back. They'll place it right at the 36-yard line, or excuse me, 26-yard line. So they've got to get down to about the 5, so it's long way to go. 4th down and 31 yards, or 21 yards, excuse me. Quarterback in shotgun formation as he drops back, looking to pass. Has some pressure, gets the ball off into the hands of number 1, Tilly. He gets brought down. Great job that time. Connor Bennett in on the tackle that time. Tilly slow getting up here, but he does indeed, and he's staggering just a little bit. He got hit hard. And so Hollis takes over on downs. Ball sitting at about the 11-yard line inside Hollis territory. But even though the Tigers from Laverne marched down to the 11, they got the ball with great field position. They got it at the 50-yard line. But Hollis's defense stood firm several times there and ended up getting the ball on downs. 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Hollis trailing 30-8 as they break the huddle. J.T. Salazar down on the ball. Brody up underneath center, calling signals, takes the snap, gives it off to Braxton Wisnett. He comes to the A-gap and gets hit by a host of players, breaks away, comes around the end, and picks up some yardage. I think he gets out to about the 16-yard line, so that's about a 5-yard pickup that time for Braxton. That'll bring up 2nd down and 5 now for the Hollis Tigers. So now Brody comes over, gets the play from Coach Trent Shelby, takes the play back to the huddle. J.T. Salazar down on the ball. Brody Shelby right up underneath center. Tight formation for the Hollis Tigers. Coming in motion is Zach Mefford. Brody keeps the ball himself, comes across the line of scrimmage, gets wrapped up immediately and flung down to the ground. Picks up about 2 yards, so that brings up about 3rd and 3 now for the Hollis Tigers. Connor Bennett coming back in for Hollis. He'll go into the quarterback position as Brody comes out. So now Connor right up underneath center, tight formation, single setback. Connor keeps the ball himself, turns up the field. Looks like he got enough for the 1st down. I think he got out across the 20. We'll see where they're going to place the ball. They say move the chains, 1st down, Hollis. So now Brody Shelby comes back in and turns around and comes back to talk to the coach to get the play to take to the huddle. Tell you what, I have been impressed so far this season. Hollis's defense, generally speaking, has really been a powerful defense and has done a good job at stopping other teams. And even though there's been some big plays against them here tonight, still, their adjustments at halftime seem to be doing well. So now they pitch the ball out. Zach Mefford comes around this end, falls forward, gets out across the 25. See where they're going to put the ball. They'll put it about the 20. Let's see, they're going to set it. Toe of the ball right on the 25-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 6 now. Got to get to about the 31 to pick up the 1st down. J.T. Salazar down on the ball. Titus Billy is the left guard currently. They pitch the ball out, get it in the hands of Rowdy Randall. He gets wrapped up and flung to the ground. Great job defensively by the Laverne Tigers. That'll bring up 3rd down and 6 now for the Hollis Tigers. The ball sitting just at about the 24-yard line. Brody Shelby will take the play into the huddle. Brody right up underneath center, calling the signals, takes the snap, drops back, looking to pass, coming in pressure, flips the ball out, tried to get it to, trying to see who that was, but ball falls incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down and 6 now for Hollis. As there's some substitutions coming in. Titus Billy comes off the field for the anticipated punt, as does Connor Bennett. Brody Shelby lined up in punt formation. Back to receive the punt. Inside the 50 is number 2, Teal. Teal backs up. Fair catch called for. Takes it right about the 47-yard line inside Laverne territory. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Laverne. Ball sitting at the 47. They do place the ball down for play right about the 47-yard line. 4:17 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Hollis trailing 30-8. 22-point lead for the Tigers of Laverne. Teal comes right up on the center. Single setback is Tilley. Coming in motion is Lovell. They give the ball off to Lovell. Tries to sweep around this end. Gets wrapped up and brought down. Braxton Wisnet and Zach Mefford in on the tackle that time for Hollis. Ball is placed now at the 49 inside Hollis territory. About a 5-yard pickup on that run. Laverne comes to the line of scrimmage. Gonzalez down on the ball, quarterback in shotgun formation, gets the snap, drops back, brings the ball down, runs up towards the line of scrimmage, gets wrapped up and tossed to the ground. Great job by Zach Mefford bringing down the quarterback. Only picked up about a yard on that play. That brings up 3rd and 4 now for the Laverne Tigers. Teal seems to be limping just a touch here. He's stretching his calf muscles, it looks like. It is 3rd down and a long 4 for Laverne. Lovell comes out wide to the right. Nobody out wide left. Quarterback up underneath center. Teal calling the signals. Ball's on the ground. Hollis trying to get it, but Teal ends up grabbing it, it looks like. That'll bring up 4th down and 4. Great job, Caden Rollins going for that ball, and just great job by the Hollis defense here again on this possession. So 4th and 4. Two minutes, 22 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Good job by Hollis defensively. And the snap was mishandled. Quarterback able to get it back, but that was 4th down. So Hollis takes over on downs. That was a big hit in the backfield. Hollis's defenders did an awesome job there. So Hollis takes over the ball at about the 50-yard line. Nose of the ball just about the 50. It'd be 1st and 10 for Hollis there. Brody Shelby comes into the huddle after talking to Coach Trent Shelby. JT Salazar down on the ball. Brody Shelby up underneath center. Single setback is Caden Rollins. Or excuse me, it's Braxton Wisnet. Looking to pass, fling the ball down the field. Intended for number 15, Rowdy Randall. And Hollis fans cannot believe that was not a pass interference. I mean, Rowdy had a player, and it looked like Rowdy was wearing that player as a cape. All over him. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 now. Coach Trent Shelby's not happy at all with their failure to call that pass interference. And I certainly cannot blame him for being upset about that. That looked kind of textbook to me, but then again, that's why I'm an announcer and not a referee. Hollis comes up with twins to the left, nobody out to the right. Brody in shotgun formation is flanked by Braxton Wisnet to his right. Brody drops back looking to pass, flings the ball down the field. Again, looking for number 15, Rowdy Randall. And he's being guarded by Teal, Felix Teal, and he was just face guarding him there. And so that brings up 3rd and 10 now for Hollis after 2 incomplete pass plays. Tell you what, Rowdy being guarded by Teal that time, Teal was just right up in his face. We talked like at the halftime about what a great athlete Teal really is. So now, 3rd and 10 for Hollis. Brody in shotgun formation, nobody wide. Brody drops back still, looking to pass, getting pressure. Here comes number 1, and Brody tries to fling the ball, and he gets brought down by Tilly. So that will bring up 4th and 10 for the Hollis Tigers. So Wyatt Tilly, great job defensively there. Hollis, got to believe they're going to punt the ball here. Not so sure, though. They're coming up to the line of scrimmage. 1 minute, 44 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Brody takes the snap, drops back, flips it up into the hands. Trying to see Caden Rollins. Caden drives up the field. He gets the first down. Wow. That was. Oh. They say he stepped out 1 yard short. And so that will turn the ball over on downs. I thought he had it. Hollis fans thought he had it. But now the Tigers from Laverne have the ball. Ball is at the just outside the 40-yard line. Where they got that ball placed, it looks like you should get a measurement. Well, they moved the chains already, I guess, so it's too late now, but oh my. 1:32 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Laverne with the ball, their quarterback, Teal, in shotgun formation, gets the snap. He's keeping the ball himself, tries to come back this way, then turns back the other way. Hollis puts great pressure on him, but he gets around the end somehow, knocked out of bounds. Brody Shelby defensively knocked him out of bounds, but not until he picked up a first down as he got across the 50 down to about the 48 inside Hollis territory. Again, Hollis defending the goal to the north. Laverne defending the goal to the south. So now, as they break the huddle, Jonathan Gonzalez down on the ball, quarterback Felix Teal in shotgun formation. Coming in motion is Lovell. They give the ball to Lovell. He turns back up about the B gap. Picks up a couple yards. Gets up to about the 45. So about a 3-yard pickup. That brings up, now a 2-yard pickup. That brings up 2nd and 8 now. Ball just short of the 45. Inside Hollis territory. Clock continues to tick down. 1:03 to go. Neither team has scored here thus far in the second half. Twin receivers out to the left, nobody out wide right. Quarterback in shotgun formation has Tilly back there with him. Quarterback keeps the ball himself. Tries to run up, he gets across the line of scrimmage, gets inside the 45, down to about the 43, I believe. 42 and a half. Brings up 3rd down and 5 now for Laverne. Clock continues to tick, 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 tick. I think it may just be burning up the clock and letting the quarter expire here. No hurry to get anything done. So after 3, Hollis trails 30-8. We'll step away. You stay tuned. You're with the Hollis Tigers on Hollis TV, a Paragon TV network. Got a call tonight just before the big game was going to start. It was from my daughter, and she said her 1-year-old daughter wanted her to give me a message. Since she didn't know any of the players for Hollis, she said, "Go, Grandpa." Granted, as a 1-year-old, she's got about 3 words in her vocabulary. One is dad. She calls her dad Diddy. She can say mama sometimes, and she knows the word doggo very good because they've got dogs, and she came over to visit us one night here, and soon I had her with us. And I took her outside to see my dog, Keone, and as soon as she saw her, she took a deep breath and says, "Doggo." So she's learning. It's kind of fun having grandchildren. I'll tell you what, it is worth the wait. As we start the 4th quarter, Hollis is trailing by 22 points. 30-8 is the score. They flip the field now, so Hollis is defending the goal to the south, and Laverne is defending the goal to the north. So Hollis defending the goal to your left, Laverne the goal to your right. It'll be 3rd and 5 now for the Laverne Tigers. Ball sitting at the 43-yard line inside Hollis territory. Got to get down to about the 38 to pick up the 1st down, does Laverne. Quarterback in shotgun formation. Twins to the left, nobody out wide right. Quarterback drops back, looking to pass. Flips it up across the center of the field into the hands of number 1, Tilly, and he takes it all the way in for the touchdown. So a 46-yard pass play for the touchdown. So 11:52 to go here in the 4th. First score of the second half. So they will go for 2 here. Wide out to the right is number 7, Carson Lovell. The rest of the group in a tight formation. Quarterback keeps the ball himself, runs up through the A-gap and takes it in. Untouched. Makes the score 38-8, a 30-point lead now for Laverne. We'll step away. You stay tuned. You're with the hard-hitting Tigers on Hollis TV, a Paragon TV network.
Get around the 10. 10 and 15. 1 of 2.
Tate Dome is going to be doing the kicking duties for the Tigers. J.V. Vasquez back deep to receive the kick. High kick taken at the 35 by number 44 for Hollis. That is Josh Thiedman. Tell you what, that was a knuckleballer that went, it looked like almost as high as the field's floodlights and just tumbled right towards Josh Thiedman. He did a good job not only getting the ball called for a fair catch and managed to maintain control of it as it tumbled into his arms. As the Hollis breaks the huddle, twins to the left, Caden Rollins out wide to the left. Here comes the snap. They pass it off on a screen pass over into the hands of number 1, Connor Bennett. Gets out across the 45, or excuse me, out across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and 5 now for the Hollis Tigers. They're actually placing the ball right on the 40-yard line, but it is 2nd and 5. Zach Mefford bringing the play in from the sidelines as Connor Bennett comes off the field. Hollis breaks the huddle. Twins over here to the right, nobody over to the left. They take the pass, give it into the hands of Roddy Randall. He comes across the 45, picks up the first down in a little bit. He gets out to about the 48, picks up the first down for Hollis inside their own territory here. That'll bring up 1st and 10. Got to get to the 42 inside Laverne territory to pick up the first down. Not sure, but I think that little pattern there was a little bit of a wheel route. But quarterback in shotgun formation, drops back, looking to pass. Being challenged, has players got his hold on, breaks away, turns up the field, gets a little bit of yardage, being challenged by Lovell, but picks up 2 yards, gets to the 50-yard line. You know, that was a pass play that just sort of fell apart because of coverage. But Brody Shelby still managed to pick up 2 yards, even after being hit in the backfield by several different players at different times. 11 minutes, 10 seconds to go here in the ball game. Hollis trailing 38-8. Brody Shelby will take the play into the huddle here. Comes away from the sidelines after talking to Coach Trent Shelby. Ten minutes, 51 seconds to go as Brody's in shotgun formation. Twins to the right, single receiver off to the left. Low snap, Brody takes it. Here comes defenders. Tries to fling the ball over this way. They say Zach Mefford caught the ball. And he catches it right about the 40, looks like the 46-yard line. So that brings up 3rd down and 5 now for the Hollis Tigers. That was a good job by Zach coming back to open up a possible pass lane for his quarterback. Because he was coming back toward the quarterback. Zach goes in motion. Quarterback hands the ball up the middle into the hands. Be a first down for Braxton Wisnet as he gets that down to the 40-yard line. So that's 1st and 10, Hollis. Ball sitting right at the Laverne 40. Hollis moving the ball well here right now on this series of downs. 9 minutes, 50 seconds to go here in the ball game. Hollis trailing 38-8. Tight formation this time. Going in motion is Zach Mefford. They pitch the ball out to Zach. He gets tripped up and brought down. Lost about a yard that time. That'll bring up 2nd and 11. As he tripped over a player in the backfield as he was trying to get around that far end of the line. Brody gets the play from Coach Trent Shelby. Will take it back to the huddle. JT Salazar down on the ball. Brody Shelby right up underneath center. Tight formation here. Coming in motion is Zach Mefford. Brody drops back, looking to pass, gets wrapped up by a couple players, and gets dropped for a loss of about a yard as two players on the defense broke into the backfield. One of them was that number 1 that we've talked about, Wyatt Tilley. He's just all around, offense, defense. He's always involved in the stuff that's going on. 8:38 to go now as the clock continues to tick down here in the fourth quarter. Brody takes the play to the huddle. Third and 12 for Hollis. Brody gets the snap in the backfield, gets good protection, passes the ball up into the hands of Rowdy Randall. Rowdy across the 40 down to the 35 and brought down just inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. That brings up 4th and 4 now for Hollis. Got to imagine this is 4-down territory based on what we've seen here in the second half. Hollis's defense in the second half has really done very well, and their offense has shown that they can put together some plays, and they've gone for what I thought at one time was a risky 4th down play and converted it. So Brody in shotgun formation gets the snap, drops back looking to pass. Crossing pattern, Brody goes to hand the ball off and falls, gets tackled for a loss. He's about the 44-yard line. It'll be turning the ball over on downs there. So now with that tackle for loss, Laverne will take over on downs. Be 1st and 10 for Laverne. Ball sitting at the 44-yard line inside Laverne territory. 7.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Hollis trailing by 30. 38-8. Single receiver goes out wide to the right. Nobody wide left. Single setback flanking the quarterback is Tilley. They give the ball to Tilley. He drives up through the line, finds a gap, gets out across 50, 45, 40, 35, and pushed out of bounds. See where they placed the ball. Actually, they're going to say he got knocked out of bounds about the 39-yard line. Close to 38. Be 1st and 10 after that pickup. Tilley has great vision of the field and really tremendous speed. He makes some great cuts as well. That's Wyatt Tilley from Laverne. So now Laverne comes up to the line of scrimmage. Ball sitting at the 38.5-yard line. Lovell comes wide to the left. Quarterback hands the ball off into the hands of number 9. He breaks up through the gap, takes the ball down, and all the way, a total of 38 yards for the touchdown for number 9. That's Marcus De La Torre. They will go for the 2-point conversion here. 7:11 to go here in the fourth quarter. Quarterback in shotgun formation. Mason Lovell back there with him. They give the ball to Lovell. He turns up the field, gets it in for a 2-point conversion. Number 7 makes the score 46-8. We'll step away. You stay tuned. You're with Hollis Tiger Football on Hollis TV, a Paragon TV network. Connor Bennett will drop back deep to receive the kickoff. He gets back inside the 20. And so Dome will be doing the kickoff duties for Laverne. They've had some interesting kickoffs tonight. Have put it through the end zone several times. Here comes the kick. Oh, they fake the kick again. Now they spread out to the normal kickoff alignments. Big booming kick. Connor gets it at the 14, gets out across 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Breaking away, gets out to the 40-yard line and is brought down there. Finally, he gets brought down by number 25. That is Perez. Henner Perez. Brody Shelby brings the play in from the sidelines. 7:01 to go. Hollis trailing by 38. Brody right up underneath center. J.T. Salazar down on the ball. Braxton Wisnet in the backfield. Zach Mefford lined up off the hip of Caden Rollins over here. They give it to Braxton. He comes around this end, dragging players with him as he goes. He gets down to about the 40, or out to about the 42, 43-yard line. Let's see where they're going to place it. About the 42. That'll bring up 2nd and 8 now for the Hollis Tigers. Six minutes, 26 seconds. Clock continues to tick down. Hollis comes to the line of scrimmage. Tight formation. Brody Shelby right up underneath center, calling the signals. Takes the snap, keeps the ball himself. Goes around the far end of the line. Gets out across the 45 to about the 47. About 3 or 4 yards short of the first down here, depending on where they mark the ball. Got to mark it actually at the 46-yard line. That brings up 3rd down and about 3.5 for the first down. Got to get almost all the way to the almost the way to the 50-yard line to get the first down. Brody in shotgun formation this time. Nobody out wide. Brody drops back, looking to pass. Has some good defense, some good protection. Flings the ball down the field. Falls incomplete. Pass was intended for Caden Rollins. It was just a little bit short, though. He was trying to come back for the pass, but not able to close the gap there. Brody comes over, gets the play from Coach Trent Shelby. That brings up 4th down and about 3.5 here for the Hollis Tigers. Here goes a nice little bat. Well, I say a nice little bat. I assume he's nice. Brody up underneath center, tight formation. Single setback is Braxton Wisnet. Here comes in motion Zach Mefford. They give the ball to Braxton. He picks up the first down and then some as he gets out across the 50. Then gets driven back. Gets up to about the 47-yard line inside Laverne territory. So a nice little run that time by Braxton, and he was dragging players once again. I'll tell you what, if he had $1 for every player, for every yard he drags people during these football games, he'd be a rich young man because he's always got people wrapped around him and always keeps moving. First and 10 for Hollis. Ball sitting at the 48. They give the ball off to Braxton. Again, he gets inside the 30 or inside the 45, brought down there. Again, dragging players with him as he went. That brings up 2nd and 7 now for the Hollis Tigers. Ball sitting right smack dab at the 45-yard line. Brody up underneath center. Again, Braxton in the backfield. Zach Mefford comes in motion. They give the ball off to Braxton. And I think Brody thought he was going to keep it, and Braxton took it. Just based on the way Brody turned and looked, just to make sure the ball didn't get dropped. Braxton gets the ball down to about the 42-yard line. So that'll bring up 3rd and a long 4 here for the Hollis Tigers. Got to get to the 37, 38-yard line, somewhere right in that neighborhood to pick up the first down. Brody up underneath center, calling the signals, takes the snap. This time keeps it himself, comes around this end, finds the lane, gets out across the 30, turns back in a little bit, brought down about the 30, or about the 26-yard line. That was a big 15-yard run by Brody that time. So Hollis moving down the field here. 3 minutes, 24 seconds to go. As the clock continues to tick down. Hollis breaks the huddle. Same formation, Brody right up underneath center, calling the signals, takes a snap, gives off to Braxton. He bursts through, dragging players, gets tripped up and falls at the 10-yard line. Another great run play for Hollis, a 16-yard run for Braxton that time, as he got away from the defenders who have been tremendously menacing for him thus far tonight. 2:42 to go on the clock. Clock now comes back on as the chains get set. 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Brody pitches the ball out. Zach Mefford comes around this end, turns up the field, takes it in for the touchdown. A 10-yard run for Zach Mefford. .222 to go here in the 4th quarter. Hollis comes up to the line of scrimmage to go for the 2-point conversion. Brody Shelby right up underneath center. Going in motion, Zach Mefford. Brody pitches it out to Zach. Tries to turn around up the far side and falls short as he's tripped up and tackled. 46-14 is the score. Hollis trailing here in Laverne with 2:22 to go in the ball game. We'll step away for just a minute. You stay tuned. You're with Hollis Tiger Football on Hollis TV, a Paragon TV network. Oops, excuse me. Ray Cruz will tee up the ball this time to kick it off for Hollis. Hollis is trailing 46-14 with 2:22 to go in this ball game. Tell you what, they have been here in the second half. They've done so well. Their adjustments at halftime, and they have done a great job both offensively and defensively compared to what we saw. I mean, the first quarter they weren't bad. They just had some struggles, and they had some big plays. But the players who are making those big plays haven't made those big plays here in the second half for Laverne. And so Hollis made some great adjustments. Cruz to kick off the ball. Knuckleball. Comes over this way, goes out of bounds about the 28-yard line, so that's illegal procedure. Laverne will get the ball at their own 35-yard line to start this possession with 2:21 to go on the clock. So Let's see. They set the ball, yes, right at the 35. 1st and 10 there for the Tigers of Laverne. Be sure to join us next week at Will Husband Stadium, home of the Darrell K. Royal Field and the Don Fox Fieldhouse, where Hollis will be hosting next week's game. That'll be a Thursday game as well as they get ready for fall break. Laverne with the ball. They have a new player in at quarterback. They actually have several new players in. Perez, number 12. Actually, on my roster, they have number 12 is Luis Rodriguez, but heard the announcer over across the other side say it was Perez. Yard maybe. Brings up 2nd down and 8 for, that was Henry Perez. I thought when I saw that on the roster, they must have left a letter off his name, and indeed that's what did happen. 22 seconds now on the clock as it continues to tick down, tick, 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 tick. And all of a sudden the lights came on and blinded all of us. Clock continues to tick down. It looks like they're going to come up to the line quickly. And should be a delay of game, and they were late getting back to the line of scrimmage, so delay of game backs them up 5 yards. And I can't imagine they're going to run another play. They're saying that's the game. So Hollis ends up losing this one 46-14. And as is my custom, folks, and I haven't been doing it lately, and I all of a sudden realized that, if I can encourage you, if you have a chance to do something good or something kind for somebody else, go ahead and do it, because not only will you bless their lives, but you'll enhance the quality of your own life as well. For all of us with Hollis TV, we hope you have a great night and a great weekend. You've been with the hard-hitting Hollis Tigers on Hollis TV, a Paragon TV network.